That would have been a sweet moment for us to do an Exodus.
Honestly, that promo was fire.
Oh, my God.
For 30 seconds. Oh, yeah? Okay. Thanks for the countdown, Pete. Appreciate it. Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, broadcasting recorded live over all of your different streaming platforms, of course. Catch the full episodes on YouTube and the audio versions on Spotify. Apple Podcasts is not a thing yet, or is it a thing? I'm not sure. I know we're on the iHeartRadio app, I think.
That's it. And
Okay.
there's a few other small ones.
Yeah.
Like
Podbean or some shit. I don't know. Yeah.
The Apple Podcasts, for whatever reason, the iTunes has been a problem since day one. I don't know why. I don't understand. But
nevertheless,
is your name too low on the graphic here?
I think I'm just too tall. I mean,
keep talking. Go. I'm going to do something here.
He's going to edit in the middle of it. Yeah,
yes,
okay. He's going in. He's going to go into the slide. But see, like, you have it perfectly centered, and then you're going to put it higher, and then it's going to. Now you're just going to see the top of the R. Oh, there we go.
That works.
But see, I'm also slouched over, though. If I sat straight up, it'd be like kind of.
See, now I got to fix mine. Hold up.
Sit up straight. The rich don't slouch.
See, this is a great first impression. We have a lot of new followers that's tuning in for the first time.
Yeah.
This is a great first impression.
We like to break down the fourth wall, like, right away. So there you go.
There we go.
That's better.
And then we changed the background. See, I wanted to reflect.
I do like the blue.
See, let's go back to the telestrator here. I wanted to reflect here.
Your pad back if you start
the water that's here that you put in this logo.
It's supposed to be like steam.
Yeah, but you
shit.
couldn't see it with the red. Like the red. We're gonna really go in depth here. Now I'm into it.
You're gonna change? No, okay, come on.
No, so this is what it was before.
Yeah, it does pop it a little bit.
It pops. And then there are other colors.
Yeah,
but I like that one.
You're giving everyone a PowerPoint presentation tutorial on.
Oops! Don't save it. I forgot how to do this.
Oh, brother!
All right, there we go. All right, we're starting. Okay.
Yeah. That's good. I needed a refresher. Jesus Christ!
I give up. It's cold. Okay.
It was warm today. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It
was nice.
Beautiful, balmy, 5 degrees.
It was cold as hell this morning.
Really cold this morning. Oh, did I tell you? I had to use roadside assistance from State Farm.
You know, you guys are going to hear this story for the first time, but I'm going to hear it for about the 5th. So here we go.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When we get to the State Farm plug later in the show, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
Because moral of the story, if you don't have roadside assistance, please get it. Please.
A sinkhole pops up in your parking lot.
Unbelievable. All right.
What a show.
What a show. What a show.
Yeah.
We're getting right into this. Mic is in my face.
That's kind of the point. I mean, just don't headbutt it. I don't know.
There's some interesting topics we're going to get into. I'm very intrigued once we get to our Kevin Owens discussion. Very intrigued.
Yeah.
By that conversation there. There's some interesting trends, and some may say troubling trends going on in WWE with the transfer window and the uncertainty of the transfer window and how it all works and whatnot. And I think part of that ties into our Rhea Ripley conversation we're going to have because Rhea Ripley has had this extensive storyline with Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day. She finally wins the championship back, and are they already out of opponents for her, seemingly? So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have major AEW news to get to here today. And these next 2 weeks are going to be big because this week we're doing Royal Rumble winner predictions.
Yeah.
We're doing it today. And you're like, you should just wait till next week to do it.
What's the fun in that? Let's make it more complicated.
There's
for
no
us.
fun in doing that. There's no fun. Yeah, and you're probably thinking right now, man, there's really no clear picture of the Women's Royal Rumble. You're right. So we're going to pick the winner.
Yeah, speak for yourself. There's a reason why I didn't respond to that text. I think there actually is a very clear picture, unfortunately, now. I'm starting to see the direction they're going to go in. I think, honestly, on both sides of it. But
yeah, the men's side, definitely, you might have to open my eyes a little bit on the women's side.
Oh, you'll get it once I tell you.
Yeah. But there's a reason why we're doing this week. Because it's no fun to do it next week. And next week, we're laying out the entire WrestleMania card.
Oh, fuck, that's next week? I thought it was after Rumble.
That's next week.
Dude.
We're
immediately going to be wrong.
Because there's no fun in setting the road.
We're supposed to make each other look good.
We're going to know the road to WrestleMania the moment Royal Rumble's done.
God.
So that's why we do the card before Royal Rumble.
Did we do the card last year before Royal Rumble, or did we do it after it?
We did it before.
Oh, fuck, that was stupid.
Yeah, we did it before. They should. I still
So
stand
dumb.
by. They should have went with my idea of Sami Zayn's match from last year.
Yeah. Well, there's still time. You know, the one guy's back in power, and who the fuck knows what Biden's going to be doing now for the rest of his life.
Listen.
The next 10 minutes of his life.
Look,
Talk about Dusty.
there is a Dusty wrestler available that may or may not still. I can't wait to see him Saturday.
I can definitely wait. I want to wait so long and never see him again.
I know. I can't wait to.
Go away.
If he is Hulk Hogan, Opus. If Hulk Hogan is booed out of San Antonio, Texas.
Of course he will be.
Well, yeah. Texas, by the way, booed Tessa.
Blanchard, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's got the heel thing going on now, so I mean that's good. I mean she's probably like okay with it. So
Pretty good stuff. All right, let's start the show here. Our sweet moment of the week brought to you by BA Sweeties, which just no better time to get some good candy than right now. BA Sweeties.
yeah, it's like you and your doppelganger in one picture, and then there's a. You don't look alike, but I mean, you guys. If you were wrestling managers, I'm looking in a fucking mirror, and then the other one is a beautiful piece of art.
So you were. Are you feeling better? You were not able to make the show on Saturday.
I can tell you, last week was probably next to the stuff that happened in the spring of last year, like rough. Just some sort of viral infection, then a stomach virus, then yeah, it just was like one on top of the other. I'm here. I feel bad still about Saturday, but man, you did a hell of a job.
Thank you.
All you guys did behind the scenes, in front of the camera. I mean, we made the best out of it and did great work, and you know it was exciting to watch, and then obviously watch the show too after that. But no, I mean, it was tough, man.
I figured.
It was tough.
I figured.
Like I really wanted to be there. Like,
yeah, it was.
and I almost got in the car a couple times.
I know.
Dragged my happy ass down the 3 flights of stairs to get into that car, and almost went there and just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom every 10 minutes." And people can ask why I'm gone, and no, you can be honest.
No, it was. We did the basketball game Friday.
I grabbed guacamole and I couldn't stop shitting.
I'm like, I knew, like, oh no, this Saturday's gonna be a tough one,
dude. Yeah, the game Friday was.
But Pete and Jacob, Rebecca, they all did a great job behind the scenes. Of course, we used a second camera too.
Yeah,
a little wireless camera, catch some fans coming in and stuff and everything. But Saturday was fantastic. All the pre-show stuff. We saw some behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm not in the liberty to discuss on the air, but it was really cool to see, like, the show being put together, basically. And from the logistics, the you know, and this was an important show. I thought about this. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe this was the first Exodus Pro show where EC3 did not main event. And I was just thinking, how hard in that promotion is it for someone other than EC3, if you're not facing EC3, if you're not in a feud with EC3, to be in the main event? You know, so just thinking about the spot, you know, it was Pretty Boy Smooth and Dante Casanova, the NWA Midwest Championship. That was the main event spot, and they earned that spot. You know, and Pastor CeeLo, who I got to interview, as you see there behind Kyle, and you know, it's just every day that kind of builds up to it. It was a great win, great finish for Casanova, and you know, an excellent spotlight match. in a promotion where, again, it's very hard to crack the main event if you're not facing EC3, if you're not in a feud with EC3.
Gotta, at some point, catch up with those guys and figure out what's next. I mean, they're going to stick around and try and get the title back. They thinking about maybe the NWA championship. I think Tom Latimer is bored right now if they're looking for someone to step up to the plate,
Well, the immediate future, though, is that the next show coming in March, EC3 is going to be back in the ring against Richard Holiday.
Yeah.
We got to get Richard Holiday on the show. I don't know how it'll happen. It'll probably be through Zoom.
You know what I'm going to do?
We got to get Richard Holiday on the show.
So before he either comes in or Zoom or whatever it is, he's a busy guy. He travels obviously a lot for the job. I'm going to shave my beard and leave my mustache. I think you should do the same. Shave the goatee, leave the mustache.
Oh, geez.
Just grow them in. I think we should all just match.
I don't know, man. I look pretty.
And then we're going to put a bunch of flowers on the table. I'd love to give them to you, but you're not here.
He's going to kill us. No.
Well, he'll kill you. I'm taller than him, so.
Okay, Kevin Nash.
Honestly, you know what? Knees like Kevin Nash right now. That works out.
Kevin Nash over here.
I'll wrestle 2 matches and I'll be done.
Or you go throw over little people like Rey Mysterio back in the day at Disney
I'm gonna
World.
Zach Gowen, Brock Lesnar, somebody.
Oh Lord, no! Don't do that.
Make you wish you had one leg,
Oh my goodness, no. Overall, phenomenal show from top down. We were talking with Pete before the show. Pete's been to the last 2 or 3 shows, like 3 shows.
Pete's not a wrestling fan. And to have him hooked, he's getting mad at the officials during the show. Like, it's awesome. He's getting engaged in it.
You were, like, locked in.
One of the live streams, he was, like, shaking Double A like this. He was like, can you believe that shit? Like, it was crazy. I was like, all right.
Nah, he was locked in. But that's the cool thing, like, getting fans engaged and stuff. For those who are watching that are not from here, not from Cleveland.
Yeah.
This is a regional promotion from the NWA, regional affiliate of the NWA. And the NWA, for longtime wrestling fans, that they were the classic, territorial wrestling promotion. So it's organization, I should say. So it's a throwback to, we have main guys, but they travel, right? Like Pretty Boy Smooth, he's at a TV taping in Tampa, I believe.
Yeah.
Like today.
Yeah.
So like
a lot of them, they're all they go around and bounce through the territories, and they'll have like the main NWA Power stuff that some of them will also appear on. EC3 obviously goes in there a lot too, and a couple different folks there. But I mean, that's what they do. And some of them too have day jobs.
Yeah.
Like strictly business. Like he works in St. Louis, and then when he can, he travels and just is like a really good wrestler. Like I mean, it just shows and goes out there and does that. So I mean, it's great to see the commitment.
We're not gonna kid ourselves. The highlight of the night.
I'm so fucking pissed I missed this.
The highlight. We're gonna talk about it later in the show. The highlight. Our friend, our sponsor, Exodus Pro sponsor, he wrestled in his very first pro wrestling match.
Not too bad.
It was a great match.
I would have recommended not going to the top rope.
I think he would recommend it too.
Yeah.
He learned a valuable lesson.
Sick DDT. Threw in a chop in there. Then, of course, he got turned into hamburger meat, which is fine. But, I mean.
All kidding aside, Mike Fabert, all kidding aside, nobody wanted to leave.
Star of the show, man.
Like, Rebecca and I, who was just, saying hello and whatnot, all these crowd of people would not stop gathering around Mike. Like, it was cool.
It was the man bun.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk a little bit more about Mike from State Farm a little bit later in the show, because there was a lot of stuff that went down. Our sweet moment of the week, though, this. What an event. Again, sold out. Completely sold out.
And if you guys missed it, I recommend going back the NWA YouTube channel, NWA Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure you look that up. Double A actually made that point during the live broadcast. If you just search NWA on YouTube, it brings up the rap group, which we both enjoy. But nevertheless, you want to find the wrestling channel. That's where you go. Of course, they actually archive all these different shows. You can watch a couple of them back. I believe Journey 2 was the first one that was broadcast back in August, and now they've done 3 shows on the YouTube channel for NWA. You can catch up on the storylines, figure out why EC3 wants to chop Richard Holliday's head off. And
yeah, that was the other cool thing. I'm glad you brought that up. The fact, they've been doing shows now for a year and a half now, but the fact that now these last 3 shows are on YouTube, are on the live section, archived, it almost feels like, oh, these are the storylines. This is what happened. This is a rematch from like the August show, Journey 2. This is what they did at Usual Suspects. Yep. And now they're going to have a 4th show coming in March. It helped me with prep, I'll tell you that much. Mm-hmm. So you think like even from a show standpoint, we're doing this for prep as well as being fans. You as a fan can easily catch up on shows because a lot of times with independent shows, if you're not there live or it's, months at a time, you kind of forget the stories. That's huge. The YouTube component is huge.
It's a nice little tool to have, and again, over 300,000 subscribers on the NWA Wrestling YouTube channel too. So they get tens of thousands of views on these. You're talking about a local independent show, and they're pulling in those kind of numbers. I mean, that's huge for every single guy and girl in the back that's working their tail off to try and get noticed and to keep those stars rising. And some of the names we mentioned, obviously EC3 is there. Pretty Boy Smooth. Kylie Page is a champion in the NWA as well. Tiffany Nieves is going to be, I'm assuming at some point, on one of the big 3, AEW, WWE, or TNA. She'll be on one of those at some point. I mean, she's just too talented not to find her way. Whether she brings her perro or not, who knows? But, I mean, someone's got to tell that man that is a dog. That's what that means. Listen, my basic ass took 2 years of Spanish 2 in high school, could tell you. She's calling you a dog, man. Like,
does he look like the type of guy who paid attention to Spanish? He was just trying to get the credit?
I think he looks like the kind of guy that's paying attention to her. Man. Which, you know what? Can't blame him.
Can't blame him. Until it's too late.
Who can say? Who can say? Who can say?
What we can't say is B.A. Sweeties. Actually, there was no natural transition out of that.
I thought it was very natural.
I know.
I thought it was Buddy Rogers. The natural. No, this is great. We actually met with Tom. Would have been Wednesday morning. Had a great chat with him to catch up and to talk about their plans, obviously, going into 2025, the 75th year of operations here in Northeast Ohio for B.A. Sweetie, the largest candy store in North America. Super Bowl's coming up during Easter, but obviously Valentine's Day is a nice little stopgap in between, too, so make sure you guys go there and check it out. We know you love Mally's and you want to do that kind of stuff, but they have chocolate-covered strawberries here at B.A. Sweeties, too. They do different things when it comes to you and yours as well. So make that a target destination for you as we move through past the holiday season into, of course, more fucking holidays because we live in America. So
either we're going to send you to B.A. Sweeties or your woman is sending you to B.A. Sweeties. Yeah. So I think it's better if we send you to B.A. Sweeties because at least you won't be in trouble.
I told these motherfathers last week that you needed to get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You were late buying Christmas presents. We know you gave them to her on the 26th. You sorry son of a...
And gift cards don't count.
They don't.
Gift cards don't count.
Cheap way out, unless it's extended family. Yeah. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
No, it's fantastic, though. A lot of cool stuff. We told all of you, my cousin Jordan, he went over, and Tom brought it up at our meeting about Jordan, and, his daughter had a birthday party and whatnot like that. Like, that's really cool. And I think a lot of times, like, people are going, but it's like, let people know that, you heard about B.A. Sweeties from Kyle, from Double A, from Side Hustle Podcast. Let them know, like, hey, I heard about B.A. Sweeties on the show, and we wanted to come down check it out. They love hearing that.
It's a great way for them to see, obviously, hey, that they're investing their time in us. We want to make sure that we're making sure people that see it, they go there, they enjoy it. We know a lot of you have went over and experienced B.A. Sweeties, or you haven't been there for a while. You heard it on our show. You're like, oh, yeah, that place. Okay, cool. I'll stop by. And maybe you did once or twice or whatever it is, too. It helps us out a lot. Just bring it up. Hey, we caught you on the podcast. What podcast? Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. We saw you there. So, and obviously, it's a great experience. So it's kind of goes hand in hand. We love the partnership, obviously, with Tom and the great group over there, and excited to keep things trucking along.
And here's the cool thing. You can also tell Tom that you saw this little flyover from the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. the largest candy store in North America. We almost got to update the commercial because it's 75 years, as you mentioned.
It's honestly crazy.
Unreal. Oh, we got good news, too. I know, and I want to bring this up now because I know it's 0 degrees outside, depending on where you are in the country. And it is snowing in North Carolina. There's been some games moved, too.
There was snow in New Orleans, which blows my mind.
Yeah. Tom gave us an update on when Golfland is going to open for the season.
Yeah.
It'll be here. It'll be here.
Should we tell him or do we wait?
We can wait a little bit, but it'll be here this year.
Sometime in the spring, but we're not going to tell you exactly when. And we may or may not have something planned around that time involving Golfland that we're working through.
But just think about that.
Yeah.
I know people are thinking about the Masters, the traditional.
I'm thinking of the Commanders.
Man,
Masters and Commanders. That's good.
Pete,
you're 85. You've seen that movie, right?
They might go to the Super Bowl. They might do it.
Watch it. You can't say that. The big game.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl.
They might go to the big.
That's where I was on Saturday.
Yes, you was.
Super Bowl. Yep.
They might go to the
Superb Owl. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a 1, a 2, a 3? 3.
There will be 2 teams at the big game at the end with a lot of incentives involved.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for clarifying that for us.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, get your Troll Pops at Bees, Woody.
Philadelphia and Washington and Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Don't mention the name of the teams, though. I don't know.
I think you mentioned the name of the teams.
I did.
I
remember when I was younger watching ESPN, and they would do Chris Berman would do the gambling segments, and I never understood why.
Somehow this is going to be the top clip on Opus, but all right.
Somehow, why?
Chris Berman gambling, big game.
So I was watching Chris Berman.
99 out of 100.
Here you go, Opus. I was watching Chris Berman when I was younger, and I never understood when he did his gambling segments why all of a sudden we can't mention the team names. Now it's Philly versus Washington, Cleveland versus New England. Well, the rest of Sports Center, we had no problem mentioning Browns versus Patriots. I just didn't know when I was younger. I didn't understand.
Anytime money gets involved, things get a little murky.
He said Buffalo would do it. Buffalo would do it. Buffalo can do it. Buffalo can do it.
Hey, can Buffalo do it?
Buffalo can do it.
God. What the shit?
All right. I think we're 30 minutes to the show. It's time to start the show. Okay.
What the fuck were we doing for the first 30 minutes?
We were doing the show. All right.
So Double A has amnesia, is all I'm saying. Oh, God.
Can Kevin Owens do it? Can Kevin Owens...
There's your segue.
There we go.
God.
Can Kevin Owens do it? Can he?
You're in. You can't stop surprising me. I can't quit you.
I love you, Solo.
I can't. I don't know if he fucking loves him anymore.
Can he say that?
Solo's walking out on the family.
Ooh, I ain't going nowhere.
I'm just getting started.
I'm going to leave this dusty-ass city just like the Chargers.
I say that's 2 times in less than a week someone said Dusty in a promo. And it wasn't Cody's dad.
Right? How about that?
Fucking impressive.
They're like, what? San Diego's like, what do we do to hurt you?
Jesus Christ.
And both promos where the word Dusty was mentioned, 2 high-caliber promos.
2 great promos.
2 phenomenal promos.
Yeah.
Who knew in 2025 the key word would be Dusty? Let's talk about his son, though, Cody.
Hashtag Dusty.
So, can Kevin Owens do this? Can he win the real WWE Undisputed Championship heading into WrestleMania and really provide a fresh change in the road to WrestleMania? Kyle, I'm going to say... no.
All right, next segment, yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, wait, go back.
No.
Damn it.
Man, that was a good picture.
It was a great picture.
I'm going to say no. I think Kevin Owens right now as a champion, I would say champion in denial or champion that is not really a champion.
If he keeps the belt all the way to WrestleMania.
He should keep the belt he has right now. And the story on Monday really sets it up because the match for Kevin Owens is against Sammy at WrestleMania. That match does not need the championship.
I don't know if it's Sammy.
That match needs Sammy to not help his best friend.
I would think that match is actually going to be somewhere else, not at WrestleMania.
Not at WrestleMania.
Where is Elimination Chamber going to be?
In Canada. It'll be the home base, Canada.
Toronto.
Could be.
Toronto is a big city for both of them. That's all I'm saying. And I think the match, if Cody's not going to get Randy at WrestleMania, KO and Randy at Mania probably happens, I would think. Because KO has wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. He's wrestled the Uso. He's wrestled big names. Let's add another big fucking name to the list. And Sammy can have a second match with Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, full circle moment, you know?
That is very much.
No, he's going to fight Bam Margera because Bam's sober. Love you, buddy.
So I was thinking because Sami Zayn be in the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah.
I don't care. What show is Sami Zayn on?
So you're going to bring up the transfer portal later, but the whole point of this is to make it so that everyone understands, like, yeah, we're blurring these lines because Netflix is new and we're trying to get guys on both shows.
No. I get all that.
Technically, he's on Raw.
I'm just asking, what show is he on?
Technically, he's on Raw.
He's on Raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically.
So.
But he'll show up on both. Cause
I get it. So maybe Elimination Chamber match.
Mm-hmm.
One final shot.
Yeah.
At the championship.
Probably not, but yeah.
The answer is what you just said. Probably not.
Win the chamber match. He's probably not going to be in the chamber because it's probably going to be him and Owens.
Well, I don't think they'll pull the trigger on him and Owens.
I think it depends on what happens with Randy. Is he coming back in the Rumble? What is he doing? Randy kind of holds up a lot of that story because the real feud is Kevin and Randy, whether we like it or not. Cody kind of is the stopgap guy. You know, Randy's the one that he really loved and he really trusted, and you know he knew Cody was a snake or whatever it was, but he thought Randy was really his friend.
And Randy can't have any other match
besides Cody. And
besides Kevin right now.
Yeah, but because who the fuck knows what's going to happen with that title? I honestly, I don't know.
Well, here's the good thing. I do like. Unlike the World Heavyweight Championship picture, where seemingly nobody cares about the championship other than Jey Uso.
For now.
At least there are paths you could take with the WWE Championship.
Well, you said last week there's like 4 or 5 different people Cody could face, and he'd be like, "Nah, okay."
Yeah, like you could talk yourself into any of those feuds,
except Roman.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
Which is great. Oh, and I gotta tell you, so on Instagram,
yeah,
a lot of commentary from our clip last week. Bringing that up, a lot of people commenting and saying, we don't want Roman as champion. We don't want Roman and Cody again.
And it's the opposite on TikTok. People are like, fucking, yeah, let's see it. I'm like, okay. A lot of people want Reigns and Punk.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah.
which I get. I don't know. I don't know how you get there, per se.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's the cool thing right now, and that is credit to Triple H. I truly believe right now, if we're talking about the state of WWE, the main event scene, a lot of unpredictability.
It's like really crowded. Just a lot of guys.
It's really crowded. There's a lot of ways they can go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that they're doing. And then it seems like the mid-card is kind of floating along a little bit. Again, I'm not saying it as a bad thing overall, but I do think the main event scene, if you go back to the Attitude Era, that's how it was. Mm-hmm. Where you had 5, 6, 7 guys in the main event scene where you could pair this person and that person. You could pair Stone Cold and Kane. You could pair up Undertaker and Triple H. You could have Rock and Mankind. You could have, and then shuffle them up and do other things.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, Big Show.
Kurt Angle.
The other guys that were just kind of filtered in that would be a part of it, and sometimes end up being champion or whatever it was. I mean, you kind of feel that way with this. I mean, Jey Uso could beat Gunther, and we would not bat an eyelash at that decision because Jey versus the Royal Rumble winner, or Jey versus Seth, or Jey versus Drew for the title, or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different avenues there too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jey versus fucking John Cena. I have no idea. I mean, shit. More believable for John to beat Jey Uso than to beat fucking Gunther.
Forgot about the John Cena part of it. And that's the thing. I guess that's cool.
Well, somebody else says John Cena apparently in their crosshairs, but we'll bring that up later, too.
Yeah. That's the cool thing, though. It's like, even when you think you figured it all out, I mean, hell, what if Randy Orton comes back at the Rumble?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You know?
I honestly have no fucking clue.
You got to address that. And we were talking all the way back in the fall. And I'll bring this up, especially if we have, our new viewers. We brought up back in the fall, okay, at some point, is Randy going to turn heel like a monster? Like Randy is due for one more monster heel run at some point against Cody. We're nowhere near that point right now.
But to your point about the original question with KO, could he be champion going into Mania? The answer is yes, he could. They could lean into this. And KO's been there for over a decade, man. He's been plugging away. He was Universal Champ. He's been in that main event scene. He's one of those guys that you can kind of plug in and it works. That could be a way to get Orton back in the main event scene for another championship run. I mean, that's how you could get to Randy and Cody technically, because Cody's fighting for that title that he lost to Kevin Owens, but Randy beat Kevin at Mania. Like there's ways to get Kevin into a spot where it makes sense for him to be champion because that feud has been good, and because right now on SmackDown, if it's not Bloodline related, even though technically it is kind of Bloodline related, Kevin Owens has probably been the best story.
Oh, no doubt.
And we've seen before the best story will become the most important focal point in their direction for the titles.
Oh, no doubt. And Kyle, and that's Kevin Owens has been the best non-Bloodline story on SmackDown for the last 6-7 months. Like, this is not just a today thing. This is... We're talking going all the way back, after SummerSlam, that he has been the best story. And, I think here's the thing. I said no. My answer to this question is no.
Well, the common sense answer is probably no, yeah.
But would I not be excited if he won the championship at Royal Rumble? Hell yeah, I would be ecstatic. I mean, you got to think, too, like, Kevin Owens with...
Jumping up and down in a house in Willoughby when that happens.
Oh, like Kevin Owens with a microphone with the real championship. Oh my God! Can you think of the promos? Like,
and that's the perfect way.
It's fantastic.
It's the perfect way to get Randy back into the title picture to get one more title run, maybe even possibly more, depending on. He's still obviously going to wrestle for a while, and they've been strategically keeping him out. For a moment at some point, I'm assuming with Kevin. But, I mean, this is an opportunity. Or maybe Randy comes back and screws him out of it. I have no idea. But maybe he screws Cody out of it, and that's how we get...
Let me bring up something that you said weeks ago. So let's say they go through with Kevin Owens winning this championship at Rumble. Let's just say they go through with it. You said, I think at the beginning of this month or last month, that it is possible that Cody Rhodes may not main event WrestleMania.
Oh, if he's not champion?
If he is not champion,
nope.
That is 100% true.
Oh yeah.
That if Kevin Owens takes that belt, Cody Rhodes will not main event WrestleMania this year.
If Kevin wins the title, John's not winning the Rumble because the match will be Cody and John at Mania.
Correct.
And there'll be no title involved.
Correct.
That will just be it'll be like a show opener. It'll be like when Theory and Cena opened a couple years ago. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get an opening match where it will be great because Cody's can still go. So you're going to, and I'm assuming John, with his one appearance so far, he's saving those appearances for when he's actually involved in a storyline, which, you know what, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Keep him for when he's actually in a story, not just in the Rumble.
They did that with Brock Lesnar early on. They used to burn through his appearances.
Yeah.
And
then you get to June and you're like, where the fuck is Brock been? I haven't seen him since April.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're being a little more strategic with John, because you got to incorporate the PLE performances as part of his dates he's showing up. So it's
real quick before we get to Rhea Ripley. I'm thinking in my head, if they go to the common sense route and Cody retains the championship.
Yeah.
The common sense route. And I know Cody has multiple stories. I get all that. And, KO will be fine too. But at some point, KO's got to win one of these, spotlight title matches.
You would think.
He has always been on the B side of these championship matches at Rumble. And I'm also thinking too, all right, Cody wins this championship. I'm thinking about that SmackDown right after the Royal Rumble. All right, where's the excitement going to be for that next SmackDown? Is it going to be a John Cena winning the Royal Rumble and, all right, he's making that choice? Or not? I promise you this, too. If WWE does decide to go back to Cody and Roman Part 3 this year, I don't think that's smart business.
No,
not this year. I don't think it's smart business this year. I think you'll get. I truly believe you'll get backlash, no pun intended, against that feud if you go with it this year. Next year or at a later pay-per-view, sure. But
we need time to breathe.
There's no excitement right now with Roman Reigns' character. We didn't even mention the rundown that Roman Reigns is supposed to be on Raw next Monday.
Yeah, for WWE 2K?
For 2K, but
yeah.
nobody, I don't think anybody cares. So a lot to go in that direction with Kevin Owens. Can't wait. Okay. Rhea Ripley. It's a nice picture. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a great picture.
Yeah.
There was another picture I was going to pick, but it was just her behind beating up Nia. But you would have just saw her behind. You're saying that like that would not be a problem.
You're saying they were talking to preschoolers. Her behind.
Her buttocks. All right, Rhea Ripley's champion. Who? Great. Okay, now what?
I still don't get it.
So you're more upset that Liv Morgan right now is not the champion.
They put so much into her, and then there was so much promo into her being like the new face of Raw on Netflix, right? With the group and all that stuff too, and everything with Judgment Day. Like there was so much there, and there was talk obviously about Finn getting a push. So you're thinking, okay, this is where they're gonna start. Finn's gonna get, no pun intended, but his flowers now a little bit too, because he's been putting in a decade of work there.
Remember, we talked about Finn as being the locker room leader.
Yeah.
Allegedly on that show for the last year or so.
Worth getting a world title run out of that, especially because the world title's kind of in limbo right now with Gunther. We don't know what the fuck's going on with it. It's like,
kind of sucks right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want Jey Uso. It's probably not going to happen. I want Jey Uso to win that title just to bring some juice back into that championship.
They fucked themselves when they announced Jey for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Before the match.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the world heavyweight champion's going to go in the Rumble, so he doesn't have to, so he can go cash in on Cody. Is that what he's like? They're not going to do that. Like it doesn't. They fucked themselves right there unless he wins and then pulls out immediately. Which then you have to fucking address that and do it. Like it's annoying. It doesn't make any sense. Kind of like this, not because Rhea isn't talented or the most over female in our sport right now, but I mean, it's one of those things where you put so much into Liv, and now she's plotting about getting back at Dom. Like that's what her role is.
It's a comedy role, kind
of. It's 5 seconds on TV instead of being featured. Like it doesn't. I just don't get it, unfortunately. And again, not a knock on Rhea. She deserves to be a champion. She's that damn good. She doesn't deserve to be in a mini feud with Nia Jax, but here we are. I mean, I imagine, even though we just saw it, Becky coming back will play into this at some point because there's no one really else for Becky to feud with. Maybe they find a way to get Bayley involved in this too. We haven't seen Bayley and Rhea, I don't think, which is interesting.
Yeah, Bayley right now though is involved in like 5 different.
Well, Bayley's all the fuck over the place, but she's officially on Raw, so we know that the title on Raw is the title that Rhea has. So there's a road to it.
But Nia is still, I guess, negotiating in the transfer window.
Yeah, so Nia will move to Raw. That'll be a thing because they want to keep her and Tiffany away from each other. They had their match. People realized we don't want to see that any further. Let's move the fuck on. Plus, my winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is going to be on SmackDown and have her eye on Tiffany Stratton. So I think this is, hey, let's give Rhea probably Becky. Maybe you throw Bailey in there. Maybe even Roxanne finds her way to get into that match. Maybe it's a fatal 4-way because they don't have a one strict person, and that could be a great platform for Roxanne too. She's been hanging out at NXT for a while, and she's about ready. So,
well, if we look at the immediate right now, right?
There's also the floating possibility that AJ Lee comes back.
I'll buy you a drink when that happens.
You may be getting me one in Willoughby.
I'll buy you a drink when that happens. Ain't no effing way, Pete, that's happening.
She's only in the best shape of her life.
She's been in the best shape of going to Planet Fitness. She's been in the best shape of her life.
She has been. Have you seen pictures of her lately? She's fucking.
I keep tabs.
I bet you do.
Oh yeah, great. I'm not debating physical appearance.
No, she can. It's about the story. I think having that opportunity against someone like Rhea, it would be. I think something maybe she'd be interested in.
Well, I think in the immediate, if you just isolate Rhea and Nia Jax as a feud.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You say you don't like it?
Not really.
I like it as a short term. If we're talking, it's going to be bigger and better things coming up after Royal Rumble. Fine, this doesn't need to be a drawn out thing right now. Just it's two bitches basically getting after it. They both won a championship. That's it.
How about that? Double A can say something controversial now. You just called them bitches.
Get after it for a championship.
Yes. Your turn. Have fun getting canceled, buddy. Can't wait to see this. So excited. I got to say something stupid now.
When Nia shows up in the studio.
Oh, God.
It's over. Oh, it's over.
She might eat you.
I pack a punch.
You okay?
I pack a
What
punch.
kind? Fruit punch? Hawaiian?
Strawberry. 216. No, sorry. I went into radio mode for a second.
You were give him the fucking call-in number?
Yes.
What kind of punch would you give Nia Jax?
I wanted a straight. I wanted a straight radio mode.
God.
What better way to transition out of something terrible than to just
gonna start handing out the Newsline in North Dakota? People call that one. What the fuck are they calling about this?
What the hell? What are you going to put the number in the bottom? What is this? What do you think you are, Bruce Drennan? I love you, Cleveland.
Oh,
God. What do you know about Guardians baseball? What do you know?
Wild. But to get back on point with this, because who knows where this train's going at this point? They're still building the tracks.
I love you, Cleveland.
No, this for her. I don't know what's next. I don't like the Nia thing just because I don't like foregone conclusions. It's like why I don't like Jay and Gunther, because it's like I know what's gonna happen.
You know Rhea's gonna retain, no problem.
Yes. Now people are saying, "Oh, Kyle, you're being a hypocrite because you said you want to know a little bit about the direction of like where we're going for WrestleMania and the Rumble and all that stuff." Yeah, it's nice to know a direction as far as what the story may be, but I don't want to know. Like, okay, I know who's winning this match. Like they did this when they did the Saturday night's main event right before fucking Royal Rumble. You kind of fucked yourself a little bit with that. Instead, I would have done it after Rumble. But I mean, that's
I think the other bigger issue again is you got this transfer window. I'm not upset about the concept of the transfer window. I just don't think they've done a good job explaining the concept of the transfer window. If the announcers are able to say, "Hey, both general managers are negotiating with Nia Jax. They both believe that she's a great talent, but she needs to really show and assert herself. Anything that explains why Nia is on Raw, other than like the behind the scenes kayfabe reasons. I think that would help. Like, hey, Nia Jax's motivation is, I don't know, she would earn more money, like more money potential if she takes out a champion. And if she takes out Rhea Ripley, I'm just trying to figure out like a backstory, because that's what we talk about. We talk about backstory, and other than Nia's going after Rhea is going to respond. That's the story. That's it.
Yeah.
So give me something like a business reason why Nia wants to take on Rhea Ripley and take her title instead of Tiffany Stratton? Like, what's in it? I guess that's what's missing for me. And it leaves Rhea Ripley in a situation where, she has the championship. But, yeah, you could have done a little bit more with Liv Morgan. And now Liv Morgan, Kyle, in my opinion, she's in a comedy feud at this stage.
It's not even a feud. It's just like a thing. It's like a story. It's a story.
She makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Like you were saying in the credits, like, hey, special appearance by Liv Morgan.
I saw something online about they liken Rhea Ripley now to Cena in 2011, where it's like, who's going to beat her?
Nobody.
This is you've booked yourself into a conundrum now because Liv had her number.
Rhea has to now take on part-timers and legends. That's why the Becky Lynch thing makes sense now.
Well, Becky will come back and be a full-time performer, but
I'm saying,
legend
for the short term. Like, Becky is not in the same class anymore.
So they have an opportunity with this because we mentioned that NXT is just fucking loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can they get? I think that's why they put her with Bayley right now. Can they get Roxanne to the point where she's booked kind of like an AJ? Where she can come in and make that impact and give Rhea a problem. From the wrestling standpoint, she can wrestle with Rhea. Power-wise, obviously, Rhea has the advantage. But
the only problem, though, is that you would need the roles to reverse. You would need Roxanne to be a babyface and Rhea to be a heel. That's not going to happen.
Would you, though?
In the short term, that's not going to happen.
I don't think you need that. I think Roxanne's actually done her best work as a heel.
I understand that, but I'm saying,
who better to put her over than Bayley to put her on the level of someone like Rhea to be able to challenge her? And listen, no one's booing Rhea. I don't care what she does.
Right.
She's kind of like Stone Cold right now from a standpoint of she could be the most maniacal, angry, just motherfucking everybody, and people would still cheer.
Well, you got a point there.
So Roxanne as a heel, I think, would be just fine. She plays the role perfect.
She would have to be
She's the narcissistic smart ass. I'm better than you. I've been dominating NXT longer than you ever did.
Yeah.
So why couldn't I beat you now? I took out Bayley. You never even fought Bayley. That kind of thing. Like, she has an in, and they have a way to make this fresh.
Yeah.
Because there's no one really right now on the roster that just stands out and says, yeah, she could challenge Rhea. Rhea just beat Becky for the title last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's tough to go right back to that. I almost would like it more if Roxanne knocked down Bayley, knocked down Becky. So I took out 2 of the 4 horsewomen.
I wonder if that's the plan.
To build her up.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
That would be really
because
cool.
Sean's behind her. Triple H is behind her, too. I think that's something where she just has to take the ball and hopefully run with it.
Remember, our picks for the Royal Rumble men's and women's match coming up later in the show.
Yeah.
Hey, I just did the plug for that. Coming up next.
It's almost like you put together the slideshow. Look at that.
Still to come, our Royal Rumble predictions. Man, that's coming up. Up next. So right next to me, there's Ricky Starks. Behind Kyle is Britt Baker. They both want out. Actually, they're both kind of out, but Tony Khan's not letting them out their contract.
Well, one of their boyfriends wrestles for WWE. The other one still wrestles for AEW. But
what?
That's a Ricky Starks Cody Rhodes joke there. But
explain this to me.
I love you, Cody Rhodes.
Man, one of these shows
Don't do it.
One of these shows, I promise that I'm going to deliver a positive AEW story.
I've said it's not about the talent.
I know. It's a running bit. I'm sorry.
No, come on. We go with the fucking trolls on the internet. We hate AEW. It's awful. Why don't you just like wrestling? Why don't you just like all wrestling and watch all wrestling and enjoy it? Or my favorite, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. I don't get fucking paid to not have an opinion, you asshole. Then don't fucking watch my podcast if you have that much of a problem with me having an opinion.
No,
you're here.
Can I say this real quick? We'll cue up the commercials here in a sec. Can I just say this
fucking basement dwellers.
No, it's Dave Meltzer. Because because now Twitter, I'm not going to go down the Twitter path, but it's basically... It's no longer really about who you follow anymore. It's like who pops up on your feed, it's engagement, all that stuff now.
Yeah.
But Dave Meltzer, for whatever reason, and it's the same thing, he repeatedly defends AEW on every small point.
They can't book anything wrong. Like Tony can't make him. It's because Dave is
like small points. I mean
he's
he's
an advisor.
Like,
what he is.
oh, NXT had this number.
Yeah.
Well, AEW went up against Timberwolves and Cavs game on ESPN and had to get these numbers. Like, what?
He's, for all the people, listen, do I think that Dave Meltzer's on the AEW payroll? We talked about this before at one point over the past year. I don't necessarily think he's on the payroll, but also it's a private company. Tony doesn't tell us shit. I mean, that's his business.
Honestly, this situation right here, because they're private, that's why it's being handled. We'll talk about
it next.
But we're going to talk about our friends right now. And stay close, too, because we're going to talk about the weekend that this man had in just a moment. But watch this. Tom, do you know where everything is here in the store?
No.
Okay.
In a general idea, I do. But I can't tell you how many times my office is on the floor of the store,
right?
And my door is always open. All our managers' doors are always open if they're there. So if any customer has a question or whatever, if they can't find an employee, stock guy or whatever on the floor, they can just, hey, where's this at? So I can't tell you how many times a customer would come in and say, can you tell me where sugar-free candy is? And I'll say 12N. No, I say no. 12S.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And it says it's right down. Go down this way because you're in aisle 7 now. 5 more aisles or whatever. And then I'll think about it after they leave, and I'm like, oh man, I told them the wrong aisle. It's aisle 13.
What should fans who might be watching you here in Cleveland for the first time? Hey, they look you up on the website, on the app. They call you. What should they expect?
Yeah, I mean, first off, between me and my team, you're going to get one of us. If you want to deal directly with the man, you're more than welcome to. I don't mind. I love working with customers because I look at it this way. I have a lot of good life experience financially. I've said 12 years of banking. I've got now 2.5 years of insurance. I have a lot of money and just kind of life and financial stuff knowledge. So that's what I look to do, is to truly help people get from that point A to point B financially. It's not about just, saving money on auto insurance, sure, but if I can kind of turn that into a better discussion, really help people understand what actually insurance does, why it's important, because it's not a tangible. I joke when I leave that I lock the office door so no one steals all the insurance, but there's not just insurance laying around. So there's just it's kind of a mystery kind of component in people's lives that they think is a scam and all the different things you hear. It's not. It can feel like it sometimes. I'm not even going to say that it doesn't, but if you understand how it works and have a person who you can go to help with those kind of situations, that's what we're here to do. That's what my team's here to do. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I take a lot of pride and have a lot of passion in, obviously, as you can probably tell. So,
well, I know you said the joke, hey, we lock the door so no one steals the insurance, but it's exactly right.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Man, you see all the stuff that our friends provide. And real quick, we're going to get to Mike here in a sec. Look at that. We got a lot of good stuff there with Mike. Let me get to Megan first because...
Oh, yeah, we have to.
Because we saw for a 12-hour period TikTok just down.
Yeah, that's what I love to fucking see after our most popular video ever on the fucking channel 2 days prior. Our most engaged we get the most reaction from TikTok, and to have that go down was bit of a nightmare.
Right. So you think like all the content creators. You think about, a lot of people who utilize TikTok for revenue.
7 million people in the U.S. that use TikTok for some sort of employment or just to get by.
Yeah.
They just had it gone.
Yeah, it's just gone, just like that. So what do you do?
Come on, Mr. Beast, get your shit together and buy the damn thing.
So what do you do? What do you do if you wake up one day and one of your social media
Kevin
pages
O'Leary.
are gone? You don't want just one source of social media content, and that's it. You want multiple sources. You want multiple different access to expand and grow your business, grow your content, reach your content to the eyes that needs to see it to grow your business.
Well, yeah, that's where Megan comes in because honestly, if in 75 days or whatever it is, TikTok does get banned, and that's where you do happen to see a lot of your traffic, you want to be able to have a good balance across social media, across different platforms, that kind of thing. And Megan brings that with the ability, obviously, to put together some good video packages for you too, but being able to strategically place those in spots that are going to give you the best possible chance to grow as a business, be it small or if you've been established for a little bit too, being able to work through that and get you some more key demo people that are going to be able to send in droves to your spot and get you on the next level.
Emmy Award winner, multiple times actually, going back to her days at WKYC, producing there. She produced at Toledo as well, top-rated newscast there. So everywhere she goes, she wins, and she wants to win for you as well. Her email, meganrg440@gmail.com. That's meganrg440@gmail.com. Get a hold of her. Definitely check her out. She's doing great things. You saw in the commercial all the businesses that she's worked with. Yeah. She actually helped us with our CVC TV promotional spot as well. So she's doing a lot of great stuff. So definitely check her out. All right, let me go back in reverse order because there's a lot of things to break down with our buddy Mike from State Farm.
God, what a weekend.
Lot of stuff to break down. First, the serious stuff. He is a State Farm agent, and he is going to help you out and provide, of course. His office in Cleveland Heights on the corner of Lee and Mayfield Road, Boulevard and Road, whatever. But right there in that corner. And one of the things that they do over at State Farm, roadside assistance. And
tell him your story, Double A.
I will. So
I want to hear this for the 15th time.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell Kyle he's underselling it. This is the 40th time I told him this, but the first time you've heard it.
The number like urban legend continues to grow.
Speaking of urban, his successor, Ryan Day, wins the national championship for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
We're too quick at this now at this point. I don't understand.
It was almost 216-5.
Stop fucking doing that.
I'll give you the updated 92.3 The Fan number.
The only number you need to know before Double A tells his tragic story of heartbreak and
I don't even want to share the story.
Heartbreak and holes
share the story.
Is 216-932-6900. That's Mike Fabert's phone. If you don't have social anxiety and you want to talk to somebody on the phone, give Mike a call. If you do, go to the website, myfavoriteagent.com. But nevertheless, tell him your story.
I don't even want to tell the story. Okay,
tell him.
My car got stuck in a freaking ice pothole in back of my apartment, and I need a roadside assistance to State Farm to help me out. Boom, there's the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, sinkholes do exist in Northeast Ohio, and they were in Bedford, Ohio. In your backyard.
The claims adjuster. Oh,
they had to be smart about that because they couldn't. Yeah.
If you got, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen this, watched this event, you have to see this entrance. And I mean the full, like this was like 2 or 3 minutes. They had these. This was hilarious to watch live, like just to see these guys come out the whole presentation.
He had a chant. He had his little thing going on in his entrance.
Yeah.
The music was good.
The music was fantastic.
I'm impressed, man. Like, this was so much work for Mike, and obviously you mentioned we know him really well, and we've been able to kind of get a front row seat-ish journey on the past few months of his role. But you've obviously seen him since the beginning. But for me, especially, too, watching this, I said it was actually one of my favorite stories from this past year because it's something that he said he's really wanted to do was just try and inspire people. That it's never too late to achieve your goals, no matter how big or small. I mean, this is an independent wrestling promotion in Northeast Ohio that does have some pretty cool ties to the NWA. But to be able to, at 40, get to this level and to be able to do this against one of the best independent wrestlers right now maybe in the game, and have a pretty exciting, fun match, all things considered. I mean, credit goes to Mike, man, for all the work he put in, and obviously for Brandon Beretta too for making him look like $1 million in his performance. But I mean, this was fantastic, and again, I'm still just pissed out of my mind that I wasn't there in person to see it. But I mean, it's the next best thing was being able to watch it.
We'll be able to see it in March on the 15th. He's going to
So
wrestle again.
We don't know. Now he's saying he wants another opportunity
We'll
to go back out there. We'll see if EC3 and company decide to give him the olive branch of, hey, you know what? You showed us something, kid. Let's see you run back out. Who could be the next person? He's got some old scores still to settle. I think Pastor CeeLo may be free now that they're not, currently holding a championship together, him and Pretty Boy Smooth. So maybe we could see a more even match with a guy that doesn't have as much training as Strictly Business. You never know.
Here's the other cool thing, and Mike brought it up when he was with us in studio last week. The cool thing, Mike said it himself. He understood, like, this is not just a random independent show or anything like that. Like, because you have the affiliation with the NWA, they didn't have to put him on this card. They didn't have, like, this wasn't a, hey, you're a friend.
Yeah.
Let's put you on the show. Like,
this is not like the
he
normal.
had to earn
Yeah.
this opportunity. He had to go through those 6 months of professional wrestling training. He had to work, do this job.
Yeah.
Every day. Do this job in the office. He was in the office on Monday after he was beat down.
I still can't
by
believe he went to
Brandon
work.
Beretta. He was in the office.
Dude, take a vacation day. My God.
He can. He's in the office doing this, and then right after work, every single day, he's training with EC3, training with all those guys here locally for the last 6, 7, 8 months, and to see, even to witness his confidence from the first time he was here in studio to last week when he was in studio, like, the one thing we saw in person, and I don't know if it translated on the YouTube feed, there was a level of confidence.
Well, until the bell rang, and then he started to get a little freaked out. But
Like, this part, there was a load of confidence.
The entrance,
the entrance, there was a load of confidence.
Until Brandon Beretta came out there stoic with no music like he normally does, there was a lot of confidence in Mike. And then, like I said, yeah, the bell rang, the referee asked if they were ready, and that's when it was like, oh, well, shit. And then
I love this spot.
Brandon Beretta doing his best Samoa Joe impersonation, just stepping out of the way for Mike going airborne, almost hitting the damn disco ball at the tree lawn, which I give him credit, man. We're both tall as hell. I'm surprised he didn't headbutt that thing when he was up there. But
Somebody's hitting that thing.
I think someone did. I think maybe it was Journey 2. I think maybe it was J-Rock or one of those guys.
One of them.
The foot caught it on a superplex. But I mean, like, yeah, that's.
I love this spot.
It's a great shot. Poor decision, and I think Strictly Business did actually post on his Facebook page the full description of why this was a bad idea for Mike to.
We talked after the show. Talked to Strictly Business. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, great match, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, so at the end, like, what was he thinking? And he was like, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I'm like, I'm not going to just sit here forever. Like, I'm going to
get the fuck out the way.
I'm going to get up here. You're just going to embarrass yourself.
I'm going to take 2 steps backwards and watch you fall face first.
And Mike was so committed to it. He had the crowd.
Listen.
We told him, get the crowd involved.
Yep.
Get the crowd involved. That was not an issue. The crowd was involved from second one.
Listen, man, sometimes the most beautiful thing is the attempt. All right? And, man, did he try. And it's tough. It's tough. Because you're not going into a match like when boxing, when you're an amateur boxer. You're fighting people at your skill level, right? Unless you're Jake Paul. But, like, you're fighting people, that are right even with you.
Very true.
I'm 0-1, you're 1-0, whatever. Like, or, we've only wrestled or we've only boxed a few matches. This is very different from a standpoint of, again, Mike, 40, first match. Brandon Beretta, considerably younger, in better shape because he's been doing this for longer, too, is one of the best stars right now on the NWA circuit and can very well be in line for a championship match relatively soon. Dante Casanova, watch out. This guy may be looking at you. Who knows? I'm not trying to book the show, but I mean, you can only imagine he's still undefeated. It's been over a year and a half in the promotion. Someone's going to come calling for a title shot at some point. But I mean, tough. It was tough, man, and I give Mike a lot of credit. I mean, he hung in there as long as he could.
That's the State Farm uniform, by the way.
That's the Asian uniform.
So their next show
When in
coming up
Rome.
on March 15th. right here in Cleveland. So
We'll keep you guys up to date. Thinking about trying to do something for them. We'll figure some things out maybe and get you guys an update on that. But
by the way, later start time too. I just noticed the doors open for this show at 6:05.
yeah,
And the show starts at 7:05.
gotta ask why they decided to go a little later.
I don't know. It ain't because they want our pre-show to be 2 hours. No.
Tell you what, if I'm there, I'll take that camera with me. We're walking around the fucking place.
We're gonna do something.
We're doing some traveling on that shit.
If I have to go solo again, hey, no effing way. I'm doing 2 hours.
I love you, EC3.
Hey, no way. No, we go. We gonna have
Oh,
we're gonna have a reading of the card.
I'll tell you what. I'll drag a porta potty with me if I have to go next time. I'm gonna be there for that. But no,
Oh
that's-
man, it's gonna be a great card.
It is.
This match, by the way, Holiday EC3. It ends here. Like this.
This is months and months and months in the making too. They've battled multiple times. Holiday's been a thorn in the side of EC3 for the better part of over half a year. So I mean, this is a culmination. And to get him back on the card too, looking forward to see EC3 wrestle again.
It's gonna be big time. Also, the two guys in the middle, TME,
Yeah,
no joke,
no,
no joke.
yeah.
The big dudes, both of them. And of course, again, Omega Video Marketing checked them out as well. Okay, what's going on here? So we get news yesterday or today as of this taping that allegedly Ricky Starks, he's been pretty much inactive. Only been doing indies bookings and stuff, but he's wanted out of AEW for a while now, and Tony Khan won't let him out of his contract.
They won't let him out because they know where he's going to go.
And then Britt Baker, on one hand, she's very unlikable backstage,
So to speak.
so to speak. She's
I don't buy it.
unlikable, and all of a sudden she's looking into going to WWE because Britt Baker, she's healthy, but
Not being used.
not being used at all.
Well, this is the problem that Tony Khan had when he decided to try and just sign everybody. All of his friends and all the people that his EVP said need to be on the wrestling show. And at one point Britt Baker was considered a pillar of this company, and now she can't
She's an OG.
and now she can't even get on the fucking show. And Ricky Starks, I mean, TNT champion, I don't know if it's FTW. There's so many fucking titles in AEW, I don't understand. But nevertheless, the guy has all the talent. Can talk, can work, but he's friends with Cody, so that obviously means he can't get booked. I mean, I don't.
I wonder if he's had heat ever since the
It's-
the Adam Copeland Edge situation.
Well, he went to, I think Starks went to a show too in WWE, kind of like what CM Punk did when he went to the one show that was in
Mhm.
Chicago, and people, you're betraying the boys in the back, and he's like, what the fuck? I'm seeing friends. I'm not going out anywhere. I live in the city. I'm home. I'm going to stop to say hi.
Not as bad though as that one WWE wrestler who went to a TNA show back in the day, and then they highlighted, WWE wrestler.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then Undertaker basically made sure he was in the doghouse.
Yeah,
Like, you don't do that.
some dumb shit. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's Tony Khan oversaturating his roster with talent, and now the problem is all the people that are on the show are all ex WWE guys that are old. Chris Jericho, old. Edge, Cope, whatever the fuck you want to call him now, old.
The Cope.
Christian, ex WWE guy, old. And TNA and a bunch of other places, but I mean, still. I mean,
Better father figure to Rey Mysterio, but go ahead.
the list goes on. I mean, it's all these. It's insane. We were talking about the young group, the Sammy Guevara's, the MJFs. Darby Allin when he's not trying to climb fucking Mount Everest again, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, he's off television.
Hey,
now
we
doing-
were one point we're talking about he's the top babyface in the company. He's being positioned to be the next guy. Guess what he's doing for 3 months? Climbing Mount Everest. You think Vince McMahon would have let fucking Bruno San Martino say, "Hey Vince, I need to stop for 3 months. I'm gonna go climb Mount Everest." You think John Cena would have stopped right when he was about to take off? Was it WrestleMania 21?
21.
When he won his first WWE championship? Right after that, hey Vince, man, appreciate it, buddy. I'm gonna go climb Mount Everest.
You can't see me.
Yeah, I'm out. the fuck is wrong with Tony Khan, man? Like, oh, I want him to express himself. Oh, he can express himself when he's under a contract for your company doing something dangerous. This exists all across sports. Tom Brady's under a fucking sea-doo in the offseason because the Buccaneers needed to win a championship. Like, we can't have him getting hurt. You can't have Darby Allin, who, by the way, got hurt before he even went to Mount Everest because he got hit by a fucking bus. That was
I forgot about
insane.
That. Oh my god!
The last time this trip is cursed, by the way, because the last time he was like, oh yeah, and then he fucking pulls an old lady out of the way,
show too.
gets hit by a fucking bus. God, so then he breaks his foot. Like it's the dumbest thing. And then
now we're seeing the football team too, apparently. So it runs in the family.
Dude, it's all tied in, and I feel bad for these two. I think Britt's a little overrated. I never liked her work.
That would be my follow-up question. It's like, well, WWE can't take everybody. So, like, okay, Ricky Starks, you could look at Starks and say, well, there's NXT potential there.
He needs to build himself there, which is they need it because
up.
Trick's eventually going to leave, so they need someone else to come in and take on that.
You give him the Ethan Page kind of playbook.
Yes.
Well,
Ethan Page is getting close to the main roster.
Exactly.
That dude's having a great run.
Right. I don't.
Britt could be she's a big enough name where you could put her on Raw, I think, and it will work. And I think now we saw this with other people that have come over.
But she can't cut a promo.
We don't know. Because remember, Sasha Banks, we thought could cut a promo in WWE. Then she went to AEW and we realized, no, she fucking can't. How do you produce these people?
So
if you produce Britt Baker the proper way, maybe you can get her over.
So would you put Britt Baker, okay, you sign her.
Yeah.
Put her in the Performance Center?
No. She's going to Raw.
I would say Performance Center, then Raw. Not Performance Center, not NXT. Just
she'll go there to train a little bit, yeah, but
EC,
she'll get
behind
some
the
stuff.
Scenes, do some promo work, and then go to the main roster.
But you got to remember, too, she was with WWE at one point, so she does know the system a little bit.
I understand that, but if you've been with AEW for that long, you've installed some bad habits.
Look at Penta. Like, Penta comes in now, and people are like, holy shit, his promo was a little rough, but also it's always going to be like that.
But there's a difference, though. Penta, at least, is a world-class athlete.
Yeah, I mean...
like, Britt Baker...
She's athletic, but again,
she's athletic, I
think if you're produced properly, and you're coached, and there's an actual person who's agenting the match that you're going to be in, it also depends who you're wrestling with, too. Putting her with someone like Natalya, or someone like one of those girls that have been around for a long time that can give her... and make her look good. I mean, that's why Sasha Banks got the money she did and all that, because she was put with a lot of people that made her look great.
Britt has one thing going for her, though. She has the name, right?
Yeah.
Like, she has a name. Like, she's...
people will pop if she signed with WWE.
If you put her on a 3-hour SmackDown to kind of juice up the show a little bit, maybe it could work.
I don't see her on SmackDown.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. If you... because we talk about how Raw has the ideal runtime. SmackDown is 3 hours.
For now.
So you got to...
until June.
Until whenever. So you got to, like, beef it up a little bit. So I'm just saying, you have a name. The question is she... and maybe with Ricky, too, but we saw with Ethan Page that if you're not being used...
yeah.
But there's potential.
Ethan Page wasn't on, like, he was about to get fired from AEW. And
you could come on over.
He was going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became NXT champion within a month.
Let me point out one other thing, too. People think there's a huge crossover audience between TNA and WWE. There isn't. I'm sorry, WWE and AEW. There isn't. It's not as big as we think it is. I do believe that, like, for me personally, I see Ethan Page as WWE NXT Ethan Page. I don't even really think about his AEW.
I don't remember him in AEW. Now, granted, I didn't watch it very much, but still, I don't.
But that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
I think there are people out there, are fans who there's so much wrestling on television. Like, there are fans who strictly watch NXT and WWE, main roster stuff. I think there are some people who just watch AEW.
I don't know how.
Not that many.
Yeah. Less and less every day.
They may have lost their remote after the Big Bang Theory, but they watch. So I don't know. It just, at some point, though, where I do worry, 200 people signed to AEW. Well, okay, obviously you can't get rid of 200 people.
And they don't
But
do
if-
they don't do house shows. So you're wrestling once, maybe twice a week, and a lot of these guys and girls, this is their first experience. They've never been to a performance center. They never had the proper training to be on live national television. Even some of the bigger names, they haven't done this.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind
there's
of
speculation
expect.
with Jade Cargill. Like, they're doing the whole injury angle and stuff. But is she at the performance center?
Yeah.
Did they take her off the road
Well,
for more training?
She was hurt.
I know she was hurt, but I was just saying, like, are they taking her off the road a little bit for improvements? But my point is, all right, you signed 200 people to AEW. Let's say 50 of them are unhappy at AEW, and they all want to leave. WWE can't sign 50 former ex-AEW stars.
Well, that's why you have the NWA, you have TNA, you have these other ones they'll be willing to. Hey, they're on national television. We'll take the rub. We'll bring them in.
Well,
And-
true. That's if they want it.
Yeah.
That's if they want it.
Well, who's been a person that's been released from AEW that hasn't signed with somebody else?
Well, you know what?
There's
I
enough big
will
enough
admit,
companies.
I
out
will
there.
admit that is a good testament to the locker room, at least. That at least you don't have guys coming or women or men coming out of that locker room that are considered bad people.
The only person was Punk, and he solved that problem real quick. They love
And-
they
and
love
if-
him at
and-
WWE again.
And let's say the reports are true that Britt Baker is not a good person backstage. That she is, let's just take surface level, that she is ruining the locker room, right? CM Punk, you just said it. Can lay it out where, hey, if she's in a good locker room.
I'm telling you, man, the production level for WWE is so different. If you put her in a situation where it's controlled,
Mm-hmm.
where they can really figure out a way to attenuate her strengths and pull away from viewers of their weaknesses, there's opportunity there. There really is. So it just depends if they want to spend the money, which honestly, when you're part of a $21 billion company now, you can do a little bit more. So
Gonna do a little bit more. All right, we end the show with Royal Rumble predictions. This is a 2-week step process. We're doing it this week because next week we're laying out the entire WrestleMania card. We're doing our homework.
I'm not looking forward to that, by the way. I'm really not looking forward to that.
We're putting out our 20-match card. I'm kidding. We're gonna.
Well, yeah,
we
it's
have
gonna be-
standards.
what was last year? It was 7 or 8 matches per
7.
night?
Now this is Triple H. He'll cut it. Maybe cut it down.
It'll be 7 or 8. It's
it'll be
WrestleMania.
7.
He'll go over the top.
So
for it.
our rule for next week, we'll have
7 matches.
7 matches
Each.
for each night.
Yeah.
Okay, so 14 matches. This is your homework assignment too, by the way, fans. Book the WrestleMania card before Rumble. Don't cheat.
Fuck.
All right, I'll go first. My men's War Rumble winner, CM Punk. He's gonna fucking do it. Bless you. CM Punk's gonna do it. CM Punk right now, he is the best talker in professional wrestling. CM Punk is at the highest of high levels right now in pro wrestling. The momentum is just hot. If it's not now, it's never with CM Punk. He's been through too much. He has helped the company too much. The time is right now for CM Punk to win the Men's Royal Rumble. My prediction, CM Punk, the winner of the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
I agree with you. I have CM Punk winning too, with the asterisk that it's going to come down to Punk and Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman is going to help Punk win it.
Oh, that's juicy.
And then it's going to be Paul finally reveals, you left me high and dry. He never did. I owed him a favor. He cashed in. And they
That's
leave,
the cash in.
and then they leave together.
Who leads together?
Punk and Heyman.
How about that? Wow, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Now
I
this
don't know.
also
I don't know if they'll go that route,
This
but I
te-
do like that.
This tees up because Roman's technically on Raw now. He's a Raw superstar, right? For Roman to be in that elimination chamber and possibly win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then that's how you can get your Punk Roman match for the World Heavyweight title, which I'd be all for. So, if that's the route they go about it, I think that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see.
Somebody on the DMs over on IG said you should pick Hulk Hogan.
His dusty ass out of the Rumble.
All right, you are up first for the women's.
I'm actually really surprised that you haven't been able to pick up on the signs that this person is winning the Royal Rumble for the women.
Don't
say it, because I have to say it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it takes away the luster.
I understand.
The winner of the Royal Rumble for the women's, in which I believe now will be her second Women's Rumble win, will be Charlotte Flair.
Woo.
Now, this is the thing. She's not coming back as the queen. She's coming back for the first time with a chip on her shoulder. With the injury, out for a full year. She didn't have a WrestleMania moment last year. And her and Tiffany obviously are a match made in Vince heaven. I think two blondes that are tall and have big racks are going to, yeah, she'll, there you go. No, I said something. But it just took about an hour to get there. But two very, very
I
good
can't wait
professional
for our
wrestlers.
women's round table whenever we do it.
It's going to be great. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I actually am. I'm the one that pitched it. But nevertheless. Yeah, I think it's Charlotte needs it, and with no other clear direction into who should win it, I think it may come down to something like Charlotte and Jordan Grace or something like that to get her like a nice little push, or one of the NXT girls, like you could see Roxanne get towards the end or whatever it is. But don't be surprised if it comes down to some crazy shit like Charlotte and Becky or something like that, and Charlotte finds a way to get the job done. Maybe even Alexa Bliss gets thrown in there too. You never know. But Charlotte will be the one that wins the Royal Rumble this year.
I like that Charlotte pick. I really like that Charlotte.
This is the year to do it because there's not one girl that's really stood out. Like, oh, she needs to win it.
That's the thing.
You could have said Tiffany if she wasn't the Money in the Bank person.
Right.
You could have said, I mean, Liv is a possibility now too. She's been runner-up a few times. Maybe this is the year she breaks through, and that's how she gets back at Rhea because Rhea doesn't have a direction. I don't fucking know.
My favorite would have been Nia Jax, but she's in a championship match. And you know.
No, it's not Saturday night's main event.
Oh, yeah.
So technically she can still...
Nia could still be in it.
She's still in the Rumble. She also fucking declared for the Rumble, and she's going to wrestle Rhea for the title. So again...
How about that?
Doesn't make any fucking sense, but I digress.
I was trying really hard to think of a full-time...
well, Charlotte will be full-time now that she's back.
Well, who's been here for, like, right now. Who's here right now. I was trying to think of a full-time... The only name I could come up with was Io Sky, but that's not going to happen.
No.
Alexa Bliss.
That'd be interesting.
That's my pick. There's some... She's been ready for a while now. She's been ready. And
posting workout videos on Instagram.
And we're seeing reports that, there was a story in place for Alexa Bliss, and it was scrapped, and she could have did Alexa Bliss, not as the Wyatt 6 Alexa Bliss, but the
goddess.
Yeah.
Please, because that was her best.
Yeah. It will be great, too, because she'll do exactly what she did at an Elimination Chamber years back. She'll have a babyface promo on Raw, and then immediately she's like...
Crisscross.
She's like, I couldn't do it without all the little girls. The little girls are going to grow up, and they're going to be great. But they'll never be as good as me. They'll never do it like I do it.
So you think so? So is she challenging Rhea or is she challenging Tiffany? If Alexa wins? That makes more sense to challenge Tiffany on SmackDown.
Yeah, Tiffany. Yeah. And you know, and it was. I think that would be a great setup too, because you got to figure out what's next with Tiffany Stratton too, which we haven't really talked about. Like, okay,
she had
a defense against Bayley.
She's played it like she outsmarted everybody too. Like she bit her time. She did what Austin Theory wished he did, but she was actually be smart about it and cash in at the right moment for the main title. But nevertheless, I mean, I think that if we're going that route, that would make a lot of sense.
All right, we are out of time for the show. It's just like the old times. Rapid fire, just shoo.
I love that logo behind the blue background, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
I agree. I think that works. I think that really works.
Maybe some merch coming soon at some point. We'll talk about doing something.
We got another big announcement coming up in the near future, too. So.
Do we?
Yeah. Something we talked about this yesterday morning with Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
got that coming up.
Yeah.
Whenever that's ready to be.
We're going to get candy named after us. No, that's not happening, Pete. Just close your eyes.
30 seconds before we wrap. New TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. The one thing in rapid fire we should hit.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I believe in Joe Hendry. I mean, it was fantastic. Good for him to finally get the job done. Going to look great when he brings that title to the Royal Rumble and enters that. And we've never talked about this, but there's a chance that John Cena says, you know what? I don't want the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't want the WWE Championship. What's a title I've never held before? You're talking a lot of shit over there, Joe. Can you imagine
TNA.
John Cena on TNA wrestling Joe Hendry for the TNA Championship?
What channel is TNA on, by the way?
Access. You have to I think it's you have the extended cable, and then they have the TNA app, TNA Plus, which you could buy for I think $9 a month or $10 a month, whatever.
You think TBS wants? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Listen,
I'm kidding.
the ratings TNA will get if Cena shows up on TNA. One, that's a hell of a partnership. That's more than AEW and TNA ever did together.
If you've never seen John Cena in a small arena environment, go back to I think it was ECW One Night Stand 2006.
Yeah,
Go back.
that was Hammerstein Ballroom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he faced RVD
Oh my God.
for the championship, and Cena walked out of there.
Well, it's
He
also
had-
they hated him.
He had the belt, and he didn't acknowledge the fans. It was great. It was great. That would be.
Hendry talked shit, man. He was like, "Hey, he said if I win the title, I'm calling out John Cena." He's calling out John Cena.
Call him out. BA Swedish checked them out. 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. As Tom mentioned, it's easy to find. Right off the Interstate 480. Ridge Road exit, make a left on Brook Park Road. The giant lollipop, you'll see Kyle on the lollipop. Just walk right on in after you say hello to Kyle.
Yeah, I'm riding that thing. Actually sliding down it like I'm a fireman.
Professional wrestler and State Farm agent Mike from State Farm.
That feels good to say.
That feels damn good to say. Mike Fabert, MikeFabertAgent.com. You can also call him at 216-932-6900. And, of course, Mega Gallagher from Omega Video Marketing. Digital content creator, want to get your business out to professional eyes, grow your brand, give her a contact at meganrg440@gmail.com. Those are our social channels. Follow them all, and thank you for following them all. We have received in the last month just unbelievable
The views,
feedback.
the views are through the
and
roof. The
numbers.
likes, everyone following through. We're approaching it almost near 3,000 followers on TikTok, YouTube. We mentioned last week over 500 now subscribers there in our first year, which is fantastic, guys. We started this from the ground. We did no warning anybody. We didn't tell anybody we were doing it. We just kind of said, hey, we've talked about this a little bit. You want to maybe start a podcast? And we have made some waves, to say the least, so far.
Yeah, locally and across the spectrum, too. Talk about all the
Yeah,
people it reached.
especially across the spectrum because I'm autistic.
Those are the shows.
See, I told you I had to say something controversial.
I know, you had to. Voice of the Land, check them out. They'll have the latest stuff going on in Cleveland sports, including Ohio
shit.
State's national championship win over Notre Dame.
Can we talk about that for one quick second?
Please.
Why does everyone in Northeast Ohio claim Ohio State? They're 2.5 hours away. Do you also root for the Steelers? Oh, they're closer than fucking Columbus.
We don't have Cleveland State football. That's really the reason. We don't have Cleveland
Root
State
for the
football.
college you went to, you fucking freeloaders. Oh, I went to Georgia, but I live in Columbus. Go the Buckeyes. Shut the fuck up.
If Cleveland State had a D1 football team, or any football team,
No, I'm a Toledo fan. Because
We're
I went to fucking Toledo. That's why I'm
we're
a Toledo
not in
fan.
this. Toledo and BG, we know our place.
I don't
That's the
have
difference.
I don't have a rooting interest in Ohio State because I didn't go to the college. I don't know anyone who went to the college. I'm also not going to root by proxy. Oh, my best friend's sister went to Ohio State. I'm a Buckeye. Fuck
Well,
you.
it's not just their sister. I mean, my good, it could be somebody's baby mama. I don't know.
Don't bring the kids into this.
Should we hold up? Should we root for? Let me get the Voice of the Land guys in for a second. This is impromptu. Is there a problem for us here in Cleveland to root for Ohio State?
A problem?
Why?
Kyle says it's a problem.
Why do people in Cleveland like Ohio? I don't get it.
Why in Cleveland we like Ohio State?
Why?
Ohio State. The whole state. It's
It
not-
does kind of represent the
it's
state.
not
That was
Columbus,
Probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
It does.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
the whole state, though.
It's Ohio State, not the Buckeyes.
What about Kent State? What about Kent State? There's the
read.
state. They're the state.
That was a
Don't
BJ
get me
joke.
wrong.
Any state fucking college in the entire state of Ohio.
90% of the state is wrong and you're right. And that was the dumbest thing ever said. Come on, man.
He made no sense when he said that, but yeah, I don't get it. It doesn't.
It's 5 degrees outside. Nobody makes sense. We're out of here. We'll see you next week.
I'm so cold.